so much for joining us today. I am here with my good friends and excellent panel. We have Kathy Cronin, Karen Downy, and Susan Jarboe. And Karen has a great topic for us. But before we get to that, let's open in prayer. So I invite you to just let go of anything that doesn't belong here and now. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. Take a breath and turn within, knowing that we are one in spirit. That when we turn within, we open a pathway into the divine mind, divine love, divine wisdom. From this place, we bring forth our thoughts, our ideas, our inspirations to share with one another and all who are drawn to this video. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen. And with that, I'm going to turn over to our wonderful Karen Downy. Karen, it's all you.
Thank you very much, Linda. And hi, Susan, and hi, Kathy. And I'm going to read from, again, is that clear? My little deck of oracle cards and energies. And the topic that I have today that I picked is earth magic. And something prompted me to go to the beginning of the book and read the introduction, which I haven't done in 2 years. I never have read it. I just started using the cards, but it's quite interesting. 7 is the sacred number with which significance in multiple cultures and belief systems throughout history. In many countries, folklore maintains that the seventh son of the seventh son will have magical powers. The Christian Bible is full of references to the number 7, such as 7 sacraments, 7 parables of Jesus, 7 Psalms of David. Hinduism speaks of 7 higher worlds, the 7 underworlds. When Buddha was born, he took 7 steps. In the 19th and 20th centuries, H.P. Blavatsky and Alice Bailey were among many spiritual authors who spoke of the 7 rays. Creation stories frequently reference the power of the number 7. The Christian God created the world in 7 days. The Aztecs trace their origin to Chickamauga. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. The place of 7 caves from which the 7 tribes emerged to populate the world. The Cherokee mythology, the first animals and plants were asked to stay awake for 7 nights, and first women gave birth to the new child every 7 days. The significance of the number 7 can be seen in our everyday lives as well. Many calendar systems are based on the 7-day week, among them the Gregorian calendar, which most of the world uses today, the Jewish lunar calendar, the Bengali lunisolar calendar, and the Baha solar calendar. There are 7 musical notes. All the cells in our bodies are said to be replaced every 7 years. Adults can store 7 numbers in their short-term memories. Sometimes I wonder. 7 is also popularly believed to be a lucky number, which is why on the slot machine, 777s signify a jackpot. The most common understandings of the chakra system acknowledges seven energies, seven energy centers. Although we get the word chakra from the Sanskrit word for the wheel, versions of this concept are influenced in many belief systems, including Hinduism, Tantric Buddhism, and Jainism. Furthermore, this system provides us with seven main psychological and spiritual themes to consider as we journey through life. In our day and age, as yoga and traditional Eastern philosophies have become mainstream, many people are familiar with the concept of the chakras. Author, philosopher, and chakra expert Shakti Tabulai describes the deeper truths within the energy system. Beyond traditional convention and contemporary Western imagery and practice, chakras are reflections of the seven energies of life. In their interplay, these energies create your being. Through their different wisdoms, they guide you towards your ultimate evolution, and many more than the energy centers within the subtle body. Chakras are seven cosmic energies that form life as a whole. By following their wisdom, you activate all the different potentials of your being on your way to your ever own wholeness. The structure of this oracle deck draws upon understanding the power of seven. Oracle of the Seven Energies is an intuitive divination system inspired not only by the mind, body, spirit model of energy, consciousness, and co-creation contained within the traditional understanding of the seven chakras, but also by the wisdom of seven, reflected in so many belief systems and modern practices. Within this oracle, the concept of the seven energies can be said to apply to the totality of your life's story and the way you think, how you make your choices, and what you encounter within yourself, and the conditions of your world as you journey forward. I'm also applying Western psychology and perspectives on how we, as individuals, create and experience our reality, evolving and transforming through this living mind, body, spirit. Why work with oracle cards? Oracle cards are a form of divination. In other words, they're one of many relationships that enable you to have direct dialogue with the divine. Oracle, from the Latin word orate, to speak or to impart wisdom, comes in many forms. An oracle can be a person who offers wisdom, a meaningful coincidence in your environment, or a specific system whereby an object or group of objects represent an archetypal or symbolic language that you use to get answers to your life's questions. In this case, the oracle I present in this deck of cards, each one with a specific meaning that facilitates conversation. It's important to remember that oracles are simply a tool to have direct dialogue with the divine. Call it your higher power, the universe, God, source, great goddess, spirit, or any name you're comfortable using to refer to the vast conscious intelligence fundamental to all life and greater than you. You're meant to have this dialogue in order to understand where you are, where you have been in your life, and to recognize and change the patterns you still recreate. You can use this oracle to get wise guidance to manifest and live your best life with grace and courage. Oracle cards can help you with your smaller, everyday questions as much as they can the big ones that advance your spiritual and personal growth. While your focus might be on how to evolve spiritually, it's equally important to be in this world, here and now. Wisdom must also be practical so you can live your life embodying courage and grace. Every oracle has a lexicon, a matrix through which communication works. Just as many letters in the alphabet can be combined in different ways to form words and sentences that convey meaning, so too is there a system that allows an oracle to speak. The language of the oracle system is images, symbols, and metaphors. The lexicon of this deck draws from my experiences with many psychological and spiritual systems, all tied together through the 7 energies. I thought that that was like really interesting. It's like, I should have read it 2 years ago when I got the deck. I'd have had more of divine communication of things that I hadn't even thought of. So thank God I can keep learning. So today the card pertains to the number 1 energy, which is the color red, earth, and relates to money, family, inherited traits, survival, primitive instincts, security, stability, and the material world. So this is the picture, and it just really hit me at gut level. It's a ballerina, and those are toe shoes that she has on. No, actually, they're not. But when I first looked at it this morning, I saw toe shoes. And it was like, it reminded me of when my mother made me take toe dancing, amongst other things. But now I'm looking and it's like, oh my God, she's just barefooted on Mother Earth. So the key concept for this card is being grounded in nature, the quiet, dark place where all things begin, where essence is the first ignited before manifestation, knowing you are part of the earth and she is part of you. Earth magic speaks to the intrinsic relationship that you have with all things and you have with the consciousness of the earth, also known as Gaia. Imagine the dark oak tree that begins its journey as an acorn, gathering the life force energy it needs from the earth so that it can sprout up from the ground. Because you are part of nature, you follow the same cycle of manifestation. Everything you are, your evolution, and the successful manifestation of your dreams begin below the surface of consciousness. Until an idea comes, conviction takes hold, and something meaningful can be planted. Be still for a moment. Quiet your thoughts and imagine anchoring your energy to the sacred quality of being part of this living earth. Do this mindfully to connect to this divine intelligence with the power to create the perfect form from the essence of the tiny spark of life. Indeed, this is miraculous. The message now is to trust that the seeds you've planted in your field of dreams are in good hands. The earth is a conscious, divine source of love that is doing its part on your behalf. Slow down, take in the beauty of your life now, and trust that what you are intending is being nourished and is growing. There will be plenty of time later to tend to your garden, to water it and weed it. Great magic is germinating underground, working its way to the surface to deliver more blessings than you could imagine. Let it in. This really, the whole thing just really applied and spoke to me today, especially the card. Um, it when I don't try to figure things out and just accept what is and not trying to change it, I can feel that little seed inside. I can feel that I don't know, that I'm just the great unknowing. And the way it spoke to me most recently is the last few months, I really have been inspired to look deeper inside my own health and my behaviors and what I'm doing, what needs to change as I go forward in age. And what spoke to me is music. I went out dancing a couple of times in the last 3 months. And, and this connected me with an old friend that grew up with my brother. And this group of men have played music for 28 years now in Pueblo, along with their other careers, of course. But it ignited what music and dance does inside my soul. And ever since I've moved back here, commitment is kind of a hard word for me. It's like, well, if you decide you're going to do something, that means you've got to commit to it and do it. And it's like, well, I might not be able to do that. But over the years I've taught, I should start a class. I live in an apartment building. There's 12 floors, and the top floor is beyond. I mean, there's a full service kitchen, there's a pool area, there's a huge floor, there's a library, all of these things. And a bunch of years ago, when I lived here before, I used to teach a yoga class. And so I'd been thinking, Karen, you need to do more exercise, not the benefit of the whole, but it's like, I need to exercise. And after going out dancing a few times, it was like God sparked that little spark in my heart that loves music and movement and dance. And I was able to make a commitment. It's like, well, Karen, you could start a line dance class. Well, I don't like Western music. But it's like, well, Karen, go to some line dance classes and you can learn some and then come back and teach them. So that was my plan. And then one night in the middle of the night, I woke up and it's like, Google rock music, rock and roll line dances. Oh my God. It was like having my hand in the cookie jar. It's like, oh, well, somebody's created all of this stuff. And it doesn't have to be Western. It can feed my soul. Some of those oldies but goodies are part of like my DNA. So I was ready to make a commitment. And it was that little spark. And it was putting my feet on the earth. But even deeper, it was pulling back to roots that I hated in childhood because I was forced to take all of these lessons that I never liked. But it's in my DNA. And so I don't know. This was just a really meaningful pick for me today. And it also brings up the I was never really close to my parents. It was like we were on opposite planets, and I got out of there as soon as I could. Um, but I had to dance all my childhood. My mother was a dancing teacher. And so in the course of my lifetime, I one of my careers was teaching jazzercise. And when I quit teaching, I quit going because, well, actually, I was the one that started it in Pueblo. So it's been reactivated, and again, giving gratitude to my mom. My mom. It's like, thank you, because it was implanted inside me. Anyway, to me, that's connecting with Mother Earth again and roots. And I loved this magical card today. Um, I hope somebody else out there with you ladies here got something out of that you can share with me.
Thank you, Karen. It was almost two different topics doing the seventh and the earth magic, but I will talk about me and my experience with earth magic. Moving from California to Tennessee, this is the first time I've ever spent a lot of time in seasons. I've been in different places that were experiencing different seasons, but I've been living here now for a couple of years, and the seasons for me are very much earth magic, and it really helps me to remember, that there is in fact a season for all things. And when things come up in my life, whatever it is, happy, sad, exciting, whatever, I know that it's not forever. That whatever it is, it's going to have its season, and we're going to go through it. As an example, we are, my husband and I, the caretakers for our 3-year-old great granddaughter. And she's all hands on deck. She'll take all the attention of all the people all the time when she's here. And I'm working outside of the house. I've got volunteer positions. So my husband is the majority caretaker, and he's magic with her. And I asked him the other day, I said, how do you do it? And he told me, we've only got this for a little while, for this short time. In no time at all, she's going to be in school. She's going to be caught up in other things. Being able to stop and be completely present with her right here, right now, is a gift we may never have again. And wow, did that really open my eyes and change my perspective in a wonderful way. That's earth magic, right? This is the time right here and now to savor that connection, because you only get one chance. So I'm just sharing a little bit. I'm sure everyone else has things to say as well. Thank you for the topic.
I'll go next. Yes, like as Linda said, there were a couple of different topics in here, different subjects. And I found the the message about the number 7 very interesting. When I was growing up, and even still today, people will ask me, what's your lucky number? I've never had a lucky number. I'm not sure I believe in lucky numbers. And the other thing is, I think you could take any number and pursue it and find lots of things. Take the number 3. Well, there were 3 kings. There's the Trinity, and you can just go on and on and on with any number. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this notion of 7. Um, you made a point that I thought was an excellent point when you began talking about the oracle cards and explaining them. And you said to remember they're just tools. And I think that's true. I have several card decks on different subjects. Yeah, and I think that's right, that they're tools. Some people want to think that they are instructions, that, okay, this is telling me what I am supposed to do or what I'm supposed to be doing. And your comment that it's supposed to, prompt thought and reflection, I think is a really good one for whatever deck of cards you happen to be using. When you began talking about the earth, and you made the point, I don't know how you said it, but that the earth is doing things. I was thinking of the Gaia hypothesis. Have any of you heard of that? And I can't do it justice, but it's the idea that the whole earth is a living entity, you know. And so that's what I was thinking of when you were talking about, kind of what the earth is doing, the earth magic. And finally, I was delighted to hear about earth magic. It reminded me of my favorite set of books, or one of my very favorite set of books, The Chronicles of Narnia, because in that book, there's a lot of magic in those books. But occasionally, the hero, Aslan the lion, makes reference to the deep magic. And the deep magic goes with the emperor, so that would be the god figure. And I just I don't know if this writer had ever read the Chronicles of Narnia, but yeah, there is deep magic which is impenetrable to us. So as you can see, I had thoughts going every which way based on what you said. And thank you for this excursion into the depths of my mind.
Well, Karen, I really appreciate you reading that intro regarding the oracle cards, because in the number 7, I have done a lot with numerology and how the different numbers, but not knowing all the connections with 7 that you brought up was like a new, awareness and opening to that number and the understanding of it. And I've also, worked with the oracle cards and just the depth of them. And they are a tool that to me, in a sense, it's, I feel like I can pray. And how do I know when my prayer is being answered? I used to always remember the minister, the unity minister would always say when she talked about it, she said she'd pray for something and she'd always say to God, make the sign so noticeable that, a billboard on the side of the highway so that I know that's what I need to be doing. Sometimes we're not sure which path we're supposed to go. And so that's where I've used the oracle cards when I'm in confusion or I just don't know what direction to go or want guidance. Like I've been praying for something. It's like, okay, God, how, God, universe, speak to me, and I pull a card and read what that card stands for. And like what you shared with that sacred is like, sometimes it's like getting in touch with Mother Earth, pulling that card is saying, today's a great day for you to get in touch with Mother Earth, go dig in your garden, go walk in the forest, go, plant something and, and then, or plant that seed, like you were saying, teaching a class or, the seed got planted that maybe this is a time to open ourselves up to, that magic within Mother Earth and within the seeds within us that grows and comes out and blossoms. And so I thought everything that you shared brought so much connection as to how using oracle cards and opening ourselves up to, another tool to be in connection with the universal thought, the universal mind, or divine wisdom and guidance, whichever, or the Holy Spirit, whatever you choose to know that your connection, your wisdom comes from. That's a way for having understanding of my prayers being answered, and to knowing what path to walk down, and what is my purpose today? Where am I supposed to be fulfilling my God-given role? And sometimes it's just we need other tools to help us do it. And it's a great way to do that. And I appreciate you sharing all that information, because you really opened my eyes to the number 7 and where that hall sort of brings into our lives and how we, it fits into it. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Susan, Kathy, Linda, for what you shared. And yes, it was like 2 different stories, but the definition of the 7, see, I would never in a million years have even thought about it. All of the different traditions, it's like being a part of the whole. And Susan, Gaia, Mother Earth, it's like when I forget, every breath I breathe is part of it. The whole earth is connected. It's like there's no separation. There's no separation. And I loved my message today because it confirmed what I'm doing. We'll see next time we get together whether the confirmation was a good confirmation and it wasn't just something out of my own little egotistical mind. Does anybody else have a wonderful comment? No. Okay, then it looks like I get to close this out with thanking each and every one of you on the panel for what you contributed to my soul today. And thank you for everybody that's watching us on the outside and being a part of the group. And I invite you to follow the links below this this video to connect you with Unity, any questions you might have. And we would love to have you join our panel. We need new blood. We need more connection. And thank you all for being here today. Over and out.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.